Yep, yep, yeah. I get the short straw today. Yes, yeah. The unlucky pleasure of trying to replace Fred for the day. I will not do that any more than just the day. And the next meeting. Of course, yeah. I'm gonna make my way around today as well. Doing all right. How about yourself? Nice to meet you, Gary.
Everybody ready? Time. Now it's 5:30. We call the Leesburg City Commission meeting to order. We can all stand. Tonight, in honor of our city attorney, Fred Morrison, you will pause for a moment of silence for tonight in his honor. Now give a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight we have no proclamations. We do have employee service awards, and I'm asking our city manager, Al Menifee, present, and Melissa.
Melissa Arriaga, our HR director, is going to announce recognize our
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. It's a pleasure to see colleagues and family members here as well to support and recognize the employees, so we'll get started. Our 5-year service recognition goes to Mr. Timothy Thomas. He is currently an electric service planner in the electric department. The next awards will be our 10-year service awards, and the first one is to Dusty Matthews. She is currently the Library Adult Services Supervisor in our library department. Congratulations. And next is Brandon Smith. He is currently a distribution foreman in the gas department. That's his little boy congratulating him. Next is Stephen Brooker. He has been with the city for 15 years. He is a gas equipment operator in the gas department. Next is Mr. Greg Homrich. He is an Emergency Services Dispatcher 3 in the Police Department. Congratulations. Next, Mr. Christopher Kaharski. He is a fire lieutenant in the fire department, 15 years. I apologize, you must have gotten caught up. Next is Diane Pasowitz. She is a planner in the Planning and Zoning Department. Next is Mr. Robert Watson, firefighter engineer in the fire department. Congratulations. I'll go ahead and recognize another fire department employee, 25 years, Mr. Daryl Meeks. He's a fire lieutenant in the fire department. Next, we have a 20-year service recognition for Mr. Brandon Brinkman. He is a police corporal in the police department. And last but not least, 25 years, Mr. James Dunnigan. He is a senior police officer in the police department. Congratulations, that's it. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the employees. Public comment. This section reserved for members of the public to bring up matters of concern or opportunities for praise. Issues brought up will not be discussed in detail at this meeting. Issues will either be referred to the proper staff or scheduled for consideration at future city commission meeting. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. Any public comments tonight? Seeing no public comments, we'll move to the consent agenda, where routine items are placed on the consent agenda to expedite the meeting. If the commissioner staff wish to discuss any item, the procedure is as follows. Pull the items from the consent agenda, vote on remaining items, roll call vote, and discuss each item pulled by roll call. Any item to discuss tonight?
5C3 and 5C6.
5C3. Thank you.
What were those items?
5C3 and 5C6.
5C3 and 5C.
I'd like to pull C5.
That was 3. That was it, Commissioner. Entertain a motion to approve the remaining items.
Move to approve the remaining items.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Bury,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. 5C3 is a resolution. Somebody to introduce it, please.
Introduced and be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing approval of the American Recovery Act Fund Grant Award for Fascia Bella and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Do a second.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I won't draw this out as I made most of my comments at the last meeting, but this is not a reflection of Fascia Bella or the job they're doing. I think Lakefront TV is great, but I think it's entirely inappropriate for the city to pick one business out of every other business in the city of Leesburg and give them a $50,000 COVID grant. So I'll be voting against it.
Any other comment from the commission? From the public?
Just a clarification. Is that because it's a privately owned business? Is that your concern?
That's it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Roebuck,
No.
Commissioner Bury,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item 5C5. Somebody like to introduce it, please.
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the Downtown Redevelopment Grant Program and providing an effective date.
Have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion.
I'm the one who pulled it. I think it's a great program. As I was reading through it, the only thing that jumped out at me was, I like the scoring of it. I just want to be sure we have some protections in here, or the money didn't all go to one person. That's all I had to say. It says first come, first serve. I don't think we would let that happen, but.
Yeah, I can't guarantee one person. There is a clause in there, it's one grant, one building. So that, again, in that box, there's about 8-10 buildings in that box.
And I
And
understand
then
that. I
one
think we would be
grant-
subject to a lot of criticism if all this money went to one person. That's my only comment. Other than that, I think it's a great program for downtown.
More than one person owns more than one building in that box. So again,
And
I
some
think
people
that's-
know more about this program than others, so it's first come, first serve, and, I just want to be sure everybody gets a fair shake. As long as everybody gets a chance to submit, then we look at it based on how it's scored and so forth, and like I said, I think it's great. I love seeing the money going into downtown.
Each individual grant's still coming back to the commission, correct? Okay, all right, thanks.
And Al, how much can they get total?
I think our max was 250 on that, 250,000.
I mean, I expressed these concerns at the last meeting. I'll just bring them up again. My concern is I think there should be some type of time frame attached that you have to own the building for a certain length of time once the improvements are done. If not, I'm concerned you're going to get some flippers down there who are just going to take this money, put the improvements in, and then they're going to throw a for sale sign in it, try to double their money, and really not getting the redevelopment that we're trying to, because you're still going to have a bunch of vacant buildings just with for sale signs in front of them.
Now, isn't there, there's a match requirement, correct? I mean, they have to match it.
There's not a match per se, but there's a point increase if there's additional private development or private investment.
Yeah, I'd be okay going on the record if someone comes for a grant and there's no matching funds at all from them. I'm gonna be voting against it. They gotta have some skin in the game for sure.
I just be my concern. What we asking to put a match in? Is it just for complication?
No, because I think it's a given that that you're going to review each building on a case-by-case basis. Each building has varying needs on what they need to get up to code. And so I think it's just going to be a judgment call from the city on each case. There may be a building that, maybe only it needs is some HVAC work and, so then there might be a building that's significant. So you're going to see each of these come case by case. I don't suspect that it will, if an improvement's only $100,000, yeah, then I would expect that you're going to see a 50-50. But I think you just want to go case by case on that and take each one as it comes And I think that the private side is well aware that they need to contribute to get.
Okay.
And I'll just throw out my understanding, but correct me if I'm wrong, Al, is that some of the improvements that we are hoping to be made would actually end up benefiting other building owners in the area due to the infrastructure improvements on some of the water and electric.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it's going to impact, maybe like a whole block or two, and one person's going to take that, then, the match I would want would be less than if it's just going to impact them directly.
The staff's gonna bring all that when they come with presentation.
All of that will come to you on presentation. There was a draft agreement in there too as well, so you kind of get a flavor for what we're looking for in that agreement. And again, each one of these, not a penny goes out until you guys approve it.
Will we go ahead and communicate to every property owner that's eligible for this? I mean, some people know about it, some don't. I'd just like to see us personally notify people so everybody gets a fair shot at it.
Yeah, what we'll do, we'll notify, we'll get an advertisement up on the website and do our normal thing there, so, absolutely.
There's only a few buildings. I mean, can we personally deliver letters to them or just get letters out right away?
We can write owners, you know what, if the commission wishes, we'll write letters to the owner of those buildings. It's not a hard request, and it's about, like I said, it's about 10 letters.
Okay, and I'm looking at Joni Smalley. Maybe you can help us with this. I just want to be sure that everybody downtown knows about it. That's my point.
Get a fair shot.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Any other public comment? Any other commission comment? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bury? Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
No.
Commissioner Roebuck?
Yes.
Mayor Christian?
Yes. Item 5C6 is a resolution. Someone like to introduce it, please?
Introduced and asked to be read by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, authorizing approval of the Leesburg CDC American Recovery Act Grant Project List, authorizing the city manager to disperse funds pursuant to project commencement and providing an effective date.
Move approval.
Second.
Discussion.
I pulled this just because I'd like to commend the CDC on how quickly they moved on getting some projects back, and I think these are good projects. Would really clean up some different areas. I like that they're spread kind of geographically throughout the city, and yeah, just a great job.
I have a couple questions. Project number one, the convenience store. I read what it said is being proposed to do, but I was kind of led to believe it was something different. I was wondering if I could get a clarification of what is actually being proposed for project one.
Yeah, my understanding of number one is that the existing store at 800 Beecher is a bit of a source for blight and riffraff, for lack of better words. Kind of a source in the community that, if owned by the right entity, can improve the neighborhood. So the CDC's intent there is to purchase the building and then to rehab it for apartments, as I understand it, for affordable housing. And then the building remains in CDC ownership.
Okay, because that's not the way I read the letter. The way I read the letter was the building was going to be rehab for a grocery store, game room, and also rehab the existing, I guess, upstairs apartments for more of an affordable housing.
Well, there are four one-bedroom apartments currently now that's rented. The owner is Mr. Ewan Heron, 91 years old. He approached the CDC about possible purchasing this store. The grocery store, is run by his son Ken at the time, which is his son. The game room is managed by his other son Alfonso, who lives in one of the 4-bedroom units. The CDC will rehab the apartments as 1-bedroom apartments, repurpose the game room. We don't think there's a real need for a game room. We looked at being a small business, barbershop, hair store. We think the grocery store could be repurposed into something that would more fit the community where people can come and get affordable, fresh fruits and vegetables in the store. The risk is finding someone who will continue to run the grocery store to our standards. So the grocery store may or may not be there, depending on we can get someone who can run it to our standards. Right now, it's a local hangout place. I think our police department will tell you that on the weekend it breeds a lot of negativity. So we want to think that's an immediate turnaround for the car parts community.
Okay, so so the CDC would purchase the property. They would be the new owners?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then they would, I guess, rent out the grocery store and rent out the apartments?
Possibly or run it ourselves.
Right, but the building stays in the ownership in
yeah.
perpetuity.
Right.
With the CDC.
Right, CDC will.
So the CDC's just gonna manage it.
Right.
Okay. Like I said, I didn't see that in your letter, so
Yeah,
that's.
Commissioner, that goes a little deeper than our conversation, but I feel comfortable that as long as that it's in the ownership of the CDC in perpetuity, and we don't have issue.
Do you know what the purchase price is on that, John?
Right now we're at 400,000.
Right, but do you know what, I mean, I'm assuming the 400,000 is the purchase and the renovations?
Purchase.
Or just the purchase?
Yes, sir.
So where's the funds on the renovation part of it?
Well, currently CDC has liquid assets. We have cash on hand. We also have some other properties that we are on the market to sell. So we're very confident that we'll have the cash necessary to complete the renovations.
I mean, not knowing the value, I mean, is that a good purchase price?
We feel because of the condition of the building, the location, and the negativity that has been there for so many years, that is an adequate price.
Okay.
Of course, he wanted 540,000, so of course, we did an appraisal, it came out less, so we kind of met somewhere in the middle, and that's what we've experienced on Pine Street and other properties that we try to acquire in the neighborhood, that sometimes the price is kind of above what we feel the market bears, so we kind of, if both of us walk out mad, we feel we did a good deal.
Okay. So that, you did have an appraisal, and that's what it came out at?
The appraisal came out about 200.
At 200?
Yeah,
And
we
you
felt
got-
it was kind of low. He didn't, we felt because of the neighborhood, he didn't get a fair assessment, and so we still didn't figure it was worth 540, so we kind of came down low. We started negotiating around 300,000, we ended up at 4.
Okay, so the appraisal come in around 2, and you want to pay him 4?
Yeah.
Is that-
Of course, it's a lot of discussion, and we could have got another appraisal. Same thing we discovered on Pine Street. After spending $1,500 for an appraisal, the owner still looks at it and says, "This is what I want." So you either run the deal of another investor coming in buying it, or it stays the way it is.
And, I mean, do you think that is a good investment? I mean, that's a lot of money into one business.
We think that from what has been transpiring in car pipes for the last 30 years, I played my first game of Miss Pac-Man in that store in middle school. So if you look at what has transpired from that corner, from me being in middle school to now, I don't think the price is anything that's going to make us fall. I think the negativity that's happened there in that corner, I think this is an opportunity for the CDC to change Leesburg in that corner. And of course, we can all negotiate the price, and we can look 5 years from now and say what we could have done. But this is kind of where Mr. Herron is at this point. He has his family involved, and this kind of where they're kind of stuck.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess my next question would be, is when the CDC takes ownership of this, do they have any ideas of how they're going to straighten out that corner?
Well, fortunately, this city commission has purchased a lot across the street. The city of Leesburg owns Berry Park on the other side of the street. But this corner, the city of Leesburg and the CDC will be total control of that whole corner except for Bible teachers, and I don't think the church is going to have anything negative. So I think with this acquisition, the city of Leesburg and the CDC will own that entire corner. So it'll be up to us to make sure we maintain it and make sure that people don't do negative things on our property. And I don't have a problem. I don't think the CDC will have any issue with it. The city will have to maintain Berry Park and the lot across the street, but the CDC won't have any problems making sure that our property stays safe and secure.
Okay. I think, was it the last meeting? I can't remember, Mayor, that I guess it was brought up and discussed on the fence around Berry. So y'all decided to move in a different direction on not spending that money towards Berry Park?
I think that's a CRA.
Oh, is that a CRA? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You know, I will say, I mean, that's like
Let's finish commission first, Doc.
It's like $125 a foot for, I mean, a commercial building. I agree, 200 is not a real number. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a completely occupied space too, so
Yeah.
it could be during the sun come. So I mean, maybe 400 is a little high, but I don't think that, I think $125
Yeah,
foot.
it's a very
it's pretty
unique,
fair.
very unique piece of property
Yeah.
with the store, the apartments, and the game room. And of course, when it came back the number, I felt like I had just gave away $1,500 on appraisal. But you know, we wanted something that we can kind of talk to Mr. Herring about it, as opposed to me just throwing a number out there for him.
I did have one other question though on the apartments, Mayor, is that I noticed on your letter spoke about affordable housing. Is the CDC gonna rent those directly, or whoever takes as the tenant of the convenience store game room also gonna have control of renting the apartments upstairs?
No, so those would be the CDC.
Okay,
And
so you'll be able to control the rates?
Yes, sir. And we do that now with Snow Apartments as well as the properties we own over on Pine Street and Mike Street.
Okay.
Any other commission comments? Dr. Jasper?
Good evening, Dr. Jasper. I would like to say I am a board member of the CDC, and I also highly recommend the purchase of this convenience store. Being in that community for over 30-plus years, I was raised there. I'm 43 now. But I would just say it's going to eliminate a lot of blight, a lot of problems, a lot of the noise, a lot of the drug issues. Like Mayor said, that block will be totally owned by the city and also the CDC, so we can regulate and also govern in connection with the city, the Leesburg City Police. So I think it's going to be a benefit for the community. So I'm looking forward. I'm excited about the growth opportunities for the business aspect and also too for the affordable housing, where the CDC will regulate and govern who will be the tenants in that area. So just taking total control of that area and increasing it for greater opportunities in the future. So thank you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Berry,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Abstain. So now y'all probably know why we brought this up. Dr. Jasper. All right, let's go to our public hearings. Item A is the ordinance. Someone like to introduce it, please.
Introduced and asked by title only.
An ordinance of the City of Leesburg, Florida, further amending the City of Leesburg Retirement Plan for General Employees, adopted pursuant to ordinance number 03-57, as subsequently amended, amending Section 6, benefit amounts and eligibility, amending Section 10, optional forms of benefits, amending Section 15, minimum distribution of benefits, providing for codification, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion? From the public? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Berry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item 5C1 is a non-routine items resolution. Would someone like to introduce it, please?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, appointing one member to the Leesburg Police Pension Plan Trustee Board for a 2-year term to expire December 31, 2023, and providing an effective date.
Do you have a
Move for
motion?
approval. Or I guess I need to make a motion. He's not in the,
Mr. Bud Bowling?
is he on the resolution?
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Bud Boland to the Police Pension Board.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion from the public? Yes, sir, Ms. Jim.
Question, I did notice that we really have 2 empty seats, and we're reappointing one. And I had to talk a little bit to Al, how are we need to find another seat. So that, as a note, And that, we need to find another appointee for that seat, correct?
Andy, that's the city appointee, right? Yeah, we've got to shake the bush.
Yeah, just for everybody, you know, general knowledge.
Thank you, sir. Roll call?
Commissioner Roebuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Berry,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Mayor Christian.
Yes. Item C2, discussion, review of the Leesburg Center for the Arts and Partnership Building and Usage. City manager.
Basically, just looking for commission direction. This actually came up unexpectedly. Maria Stefanovic actually came to us, but a couple meetings ago, presenting to us the mural program that leaked into a conversation of what are we going to do with the building. There's been rumor, hearsay, and talk about keep it, demolish it, replace it, whatever. Commissioner Peterson asked that the commission consider the item. So I basically thought there was two pieces of information the commission needed to give direction on this, was how much have we spent in the past on the building, and what can we do with the building in the future. So in the past, I think that I put that number in the packet, and it was about $125,000 since fiscal year 15. So not crazy numbers, but the building does continue to have some issues, roof issues, replaster issues, seal window issues. If we want to get super fancy, maybe we need to look at some ADA issues. I think all in, you're probably maybe looking at like $250,000 to $500,000 to fix right, be done, make it look nice. The other option is a capital improvement project. And that one is up in the air a little bit. There's a million things you could do, which frankly will cost in excess of $1 million, such as demolish the building, recreate the lot for parking, demolish the building, recreate the lot for parking, add some different themes to where that's a gathering place. Bottom line, I don't think you do any capital improvement in that lot for less than $5 million. So the question becomes, put it in the hopper, limp it along, and when we have money, plan a CIP, that's going to be a big one, or fix the building. Our recommendation, based on the feedback from the last meeting, is to fix the building, probably let it limp along for the remainder of this fiscal year. I was very unspecific about when we fix it, but at least we put if you go to fix the building, then you put to bed the question, and then we just take time to really figure out what it needs and then program those repairs and see that they're done.
Obviously, I support keeping this building. We have two great organizations who are very happy there. It's very functional. It's well located. I'd like to see us do it now. And the second idea is, could we not have the partnership and the Center for the Arts maybe drive it? I guess I feel like they could probably renovate it cheaper. I mean, I know what it needs. It needs a new roof. I mean, I've talked to them about it. I don't know if we can do that. I guarantee they can do it cheaper than the city, so why don't we let them do it? And do it now. My old, government versus private, Al.
With all due respect, Commissioner, I guarantee that they can't do it cheaper, and I would question if they have the staff to manage it, and at the end of the day, it's the city's building, and it's our money. I would recommend.
Okay, I was just trying to drive the price down.
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay. Well, then I'll just end up my comment. I'd like to see us do it sooner than later.
And we can do that, I just understood. And if that's the wish of the commission, then we'll get on it, and we'll come back to you. Probably it'll take a month or so to figure out what's wrong with it, get some prices, and then you're just digging into cash. And so the number's not unexpected.
My question would be, if we move forward with these improvements, this is not something that's gonna come back up in a year or two for reconsideration to tear it down after we just spent a couple $100,000 in improvements on it.
It wouldn't come up by me.
I'll just comment that I went and looked at the downtown master plan today. When you look at the master plan and the feedback from the community, there was no talk of this building being knocked down. There was an item about reconfiguring the parking, I believe tying it into the former gas plant. I mean, there was clearly a need for more parking there, but I didn't see anything in the master plan that talked about knocking this down. So I just share that with the commission, unless I missed it.
Well, I'll just say, I remember when this building came to the city, the purchase, I think it was like $400,000. It was the purchase for knockdown. As soon as we bought it, I think Joe came in and said, "Ooh, we need to keep this building. This can be our office." So it went from buying it, knocking it down for parking, because parking was a premium then. Now it's a great building. So this building has gone around. I think it's a great location. I think it's a great size for a building. I think it'd be hard pressed to rebuild. As Al just said, it's going to take about $5 million to repurpose anything on that site. And I'm really would love to see us, if we could, Al, bring some numbers back on what it will cost to make the building look like a Leesburg facility in downtown, as economic as possible, to continue the work of the two nonprofits. So I would like to see us, Al can bring that to us, and we look down our budget and see if anything we can do to start the project, as opposed to knocking it down. So that's kind of where I would like to see us go. I don't know how anybody feels about it.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I brought it up just as a, like, let's just make sure we know what we want to do here. And after talking to Al about what other options are, there really isn't another option that's even remotely feasible from a money standpoint. So yeah, I agree. We should just kind of look at doing a major renovation. I do think it's important. I think we start looking now, because, you know, we go through design and stuff. We're talking about a ways out to be able to actually start a project. I do think it's important that we go through the budget processes and budget it, and we don't, for a big project like this, just pull out of cash. I would be against that, but I'm okay to get the wheels moving. Hopefully that way we have a set of plans, and we can, maybe, as soon as the next budget's approved, we could start construction.
Joni or Maria, anything you want to say at this time?
I just want to say thank you for considering this. So my name is Maria Stefanovich. I'm the Executive Director at the Leesburg Center for the Arts. As you know, we've been around for 21 years and in that building 10 plus years, and we're very grateful that this is up for discussion. It is our home, and throughout the year, on our best year in 2019, we had roughly about 30,000 people come in and out of that building. So we really appreciate the time and the consideration into the future of what that building looks like, and if it's there.
I agree with Joni Smalley, Leesburg Partnership. I agree with her, just coming off of a very hectic 2 months. It is, for me, it would be imperative that we were right downtown like that. That was, if we were separated from all of our equipment, and that would have been quite a challenge for us. So we greatly appreciate you letting us stay in that building.
Thanks, Joni. Maria, thank you for what you do for Leesburg. Anything else from the commission? Al, anything else?
Nope, we'll work on it.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Cornell, anything?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Jim?
My only comment is I think it's real important for the Center of the Arts to have a location in the downtown area. I don't think we should be looking for any type of movement to other places in Leesburg. And that being said, that's an obvious great location for them. What I do want to avoid is, I'll call it the swimming pool phenomena, where for so many years when the old pool was here, we kept mending it, and as long as the fix can be a fix, and it's not just this bleed for us while we decide what to do, I'm all for fixing the building. So,
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Peace, anything else? Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to the information report. We have none. City attorney items?
No items.
Thank you, sir. City manager items?
I do have a few items, so bear with me. I'll try to be as quick as possible. Unfortunately, with the passing of Fred, that's obviously a member of our team who played a humongous role, probably more behind the scenes than in front of the scenes. Fred was always very stoic and elegant up here, much more than the rest of us. And Fred will sorely be missed. And I think, as I said at his service, I think he's one of those people that aren't replaceable, but what he did for us, we always need to remember and hold fondly. So having said that, we do need to move forward. So now let me go into the difficult stuff. Not that it's difficult, but just difficult because we have to move forward without a friend and counsel. So having said that, first off, the Sunnyside Landing development was scheduled to come before you next meeting. Next meeting was early due to the holidays. The petitioners and developers of that, because of Fred's passing, have requested that that be delayed. So I wanted to get that word out. We'll delay that again. They this time will pay for the advertising. They wanted to wait until we had a permanent council in place. So that leads into the next topic. The city commission, as you know, by charter, hires two positions, the city manager position and the city attorney position. So with Fred's position now open, and I did have a conversation with Phil Smith from Macklin. So long story short there, we did not have a contract with Macklin. We had a letter of engagement that was written by Fred that was dated back to 1995. And the letter at the time, I think, was sent to Rex Taylor, which said to go even further. And Fred, of course, very eloquently wrote, "My office can't find the original contract." Now, mind you, this is in 95. We'd love to continue, Dewey and I would love to continue serving the city. And we said yes. Then there was another record, I want to say it was around 2013-ish or so, and it was then to Ray Sharp, who was the interim city manager, where we adjusted the hourly rate to about $1.50. So those are the only two documents that we had, which tied us to Fred and Macklin for all the years of service. So with that saying, I think I'm not sure where Macklin is at as far as where they want to head. But Phil and I did have the conversation, and it's your decision to make, but my suggestion to this body would be is that we open up a request for proposals from law firms, and we'll put together a timeline based on your response tonight. But I didn't want to put anything out in the marketplace. Of course, I think, I'm certainly willing and expect to help you in the recruitment of this. Ultimately, though, I think this is something where when the applications and the forms come rolling in, this body needs to fill out the forms, and you all need to pick the next firm, and we'll help you through that process. So step one of that process is to authorize me to put together an RFP and get that out ASAP. I would say you let that sit for 30, 45 days, and we pick it up in February when we start reviewing and interviewing potential firms to probably shoot somewhere in the March timeframe. Until then, again, I did talk with Mr. Smith, and he is willing to provide us an attorney. Fortunately or unfortunately, it comes at a time where we don't have any significant pending litigation, but we do need to move forward. We have standard operating procedures where we have different contracts at a staff level, or we need an attorney to look at something, and so we do need somebody on board to keep everything rolling. So my request is for you guys to go ahead and authorize me to send out the RFP. I'll put together a timeline. I'll get that back out to you in email, and then review the process where we're at on Monday at our next meeting, if that's good with you all. Okay, so with those issues down, just to kind of some other informational stuff, just a reminder, the chamber breakfast this Thursday at 7 a.m. 0700 is the state of the city. So the happy face sitting in front of you will make his annual presentation to the chamber. Always look forward to doing that. And also that same day at 10 a.m. we'll be doing the ribbon cutting on the pool. The pool's not completely done, but we felt like this was the best time to do the ribbon cutting and get it done, get that put behind us, and then that gets everything done before the start of the new year, and then hopefully by opening, it was a bad time. We did our best to try to get the pool opened before winter came. It just doesn't look like that, but we wanted to have some sort of ceremony to keep everything moving before we open it, which, April timeframe, which knock on wood, we should be on. And then lastly, with the holidays before us, I'm going to be in and out of the office this week, a little bit of next week. I'll send you out my schedule so you know when I'm in and out. Of course, I'm always available by phone. I won't be very far. So that was as brief as I could make it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. You forgot something too, Al.
Did? Oh, yeah, I did. Do you want to catch it?
No,
the,
it's yours.
the mayor is suffering from the hiccups now for about a week, and he reminded me, December 14th, which is tomorrow, 11 to 1, here at the Venetian Center is our annual holiday luncheon for the city employees and all those who wish to participate. So come on down. The food's always good, and it's a nice way that we annually recognize our city employees. Didn't get to do it last year because of COVID, so now we're back at the banquet. So hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Burry?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Roebuck?
I'm sure everyone's seen the letters the county keeps sending us about joint planning, and now they've scheduled it. I think it's important that we at least respond one way or another to what we're going to do. My feeling is that we should send staff with instructions to, take notes and let us know what they say. I kind of have an issue with the idea that they would have 5 county commissioners and then 1 representative from each city, because how can any one of us speak for Leesburg, right? I mean, we all get a vote, and if you send me, you're going to get one thing. If you send the mayor, you can get something entirely different. It's not really fair. So I think we need to know what they're saying. And then the other thing would be that I think it's important that we respond also that, look, you requested a meeting with us to review the ISBA. We responded now twice asking to set a dates. We're open to doing that, this body and your body meeting, just like the ISBA says that we'll do, but you're not cooperating. So we want to be clear that we're open, and so they don't come down the road and say, hey, you're not fulfilling your obligations. So I don't know if anyone feels differently. Certainly I'm open to other ideas on that, but I just think we need to let kind of the county know what we want to do.
Good idea.
Yeah, Dan, I also think that in their letter, they're requesting us not to approve certain things in those areas. And I think that's a little cart before the horse. If they want a meeting to talk about it, I'm fine with that. But they haven't given us the meeting, and now they're telling us not to do anything, and I just don't think, that's the direction I want to go in.
Yeah, I agree. They brought it up first in August, and we said, give us some dates, let's meet. So they'll have had like 5 months to do that, to talk about it before we have a hearing. But so all right, so good. All right.
I'll get a letter written, and I'll of course copy the commissioners.
Sure.
And then the last thing is, this is my last meeting of the year, so I'd like to. I'm the most unhappy about Sunnyside getting postponed. I was really looking forward to it being next week or 2 weeks when I'm not here. But anyways, just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Commissioner Connell?
No.
Mayor Christian?
As Al alluded to, I've been battling with hiccups. I thought my neighborhood pharmacist would give me some remedies, but he didn't have any remedies either. So
I told him peanut butter.
Al said peanut butter is not working. My wife has been doing a very good job taking care of me. Anybody who knows me know I don't like going to the doctor, so I had 2 doctor's appointments this week. So these hiccups are just something unbearable. I went to one doctor, and he kind of laughed at me like, "Are you really here for hiccups?" So so just pray for me that these hiccups will disappear. Merry Christmas to everyone, and to Joni, thank you for a great Christmas parade, and to all you that do so many great things around Leesburg. I commend each of you, and thanks to the commission from the CDC on behalf of the CDC tonight. We're looking to do some major splashes in the Leesburg community to fight some of the blight that's been detrimental to our city for so many years. So thank you for your vote of confidence on tonight. And to Al and his staff, I just want to commend you on to continue to keep the city of Leesburg moving forward. And Dan, I'll talk to you about neighborhood grants later, but good night, everyone. Have a great night.